Welcome, everyone. We are live and it is Friday. Oh, yes, it is. It is Friday. Whew. It is Friday. Oh, yes, it is. I am so looking forward to just doing my chores on the weekend. Oh, let the party begin. But here's why it's a party. You are no longer stuck. You're no longer stuck in whatever pattern you've been in this whole time. Why is that? Because you know how to start a new pattern. You know how to recognize the one you don't want, and you know how to make a new one. Now, what is more exciting than that? Hmm? You get to grow and to learn and to teach. That's the beauty of living. And I know some may want to argue with me. Of course. But think about that for a moment. Which would you prefer? Knowing that you can change your patterns or staying in them because you don't know that you can? I would rather know how to change my patterns than to stay in a pattern that no longer serves. That's no fun at all. Because then what do we do with our time? We spend our time moping and whining and complaining and not enjoying. Some would say, Angela, there's nothing to enjoy. Have you seen the state of the world? Yes, I've seen the state of the world. And the state of the world is a direct reflection of each individual's inner state. I heard somebody ask last night, because I popped into a room on Clubhouse, and somebody asked, are we even living like the same timeline? Like, are we living in the same world? How can your view be so different? Your view can be so different because you change your perspective. That's what makes what we're doing so good. Think about the alternative. You know, it's rare sometimes that people ever ask, can it get any better? Can it get better? Yes. Same for people who believe that it cannot. The only difference is what the person's looking at. The only difference is their perspective. You can do one, you can do the other. Go out there and experiment. I was talking to one of my coworkers, and he was telling me something. And he said, no, I asked him, because I don't want to say too much, but I asked him, and do you think that that's a coincidence? He said, yeah. I said, dude, you want to sing, you love to sing, and you find the one thing that you truly enjoy doing, and you audition? Tch. And you think that's a coincidence? He goes, well, I just came across it on TikTok. I said, you didn't just come across it. You love singing. Oh, and oh, wow. He is a magnificent tenor. Oh, yes, he is. Mhm. Great, great vocals. And he finds this absolutely beautiful thing to audition for, to be part of this group. And he says, Angela, I got in. And I was like, well, I had no doubt you would. And he's still in awe that it's a coincidence. But if you remember what a coincidence is, the inner matching the exterior. He loves to sing, and now I keep telling you, the inevitable outcome of rehearsal is performance. He practices every day. And now he gets an opportunity. How did that opportunity get there? A man's gifts makes room. He put it there. So now it helps him to boost his confidence. That's what you get to a point. You truly get to a point if you practice the principles that you will also boost your confidence. In what? Your ability to change. Rehearse what you want to become. Angela, you keep telling us the same thing every day. Well, as I see it, you've got a couple choices. You could do or do not. But sometimes we get to a point in our lives where we say, I've had enough, right? Do you want to wait till you get to be frustrated, or do you want to deliberately change? You see, if you look at it, with some people, the frustration becomes so much. Pardon me. And that frustration becomes so much that they change. I am tired of being sick and tired. Ah. And you're so frustrated you change. Why wait for frustration when you can say, ooh, I'm so excited to see what I can become. Let me do it. Let me do it. That's the principle, is it not? Serious. What are you going to do this weekend? See, people think that to change your life, you got to be boring. You don't have to be boring. Look at what you know now. Look at what you can apply. How is that possibly boring? That should have you just lit right up to know, wait a minute, I can change deliberately. Let me rehearse what I want to become. And you're so busy with rehearsing what you want to become, you move yourself from problem to solution. Isn't that something? I think it's rather intriguing. What will you practice? What will you rehearse? Give it a test run. You know, you go to the dealership and you want to get a new car. What do? You test drive something until the fit feels right. It's the same thing with rehearsal. You rehearse and you rehearse and you rehearse until that thing feels right. And you'll know, because then you'll just do it. Test it for yourselves. You know? That's why it's a party. Look at how exciting that is. If you gaze out into the world, most people are on something, whether other prescribed or self-prescribed, but they're on something. Trying to do what? Some are trying to enhance, some are trying to numb. Just pay attention. You are in a most glorious, glorious position. You most certainly are. So what are you going to do? Are you going to test it out? Are you going to rehearse? Your focus is not on how long it takes you to memorize your lines, aka have the experience. Your focus is on how well do I know my lines? Can I put feeling into my lines? Can I convince an audience of my lines? See, and now you're simply focused on the rehearsal itself. That is the part. Just be focused on the rehearsal itself because you know the outcome of rehearsal. That's the point I am so eagerly trying to convey to you. That's the point. Just give it a try. If you're looking at your present life right now and it overwhelms you, what would it be like if you were no longer in that position, but you were doing something that you truly enjoyed, that you were being someone you truly enjoyed? What would that be like for you? And when you ask that question, that is when your script begins to show itself. So that you get your lines. Yes. Your lines begin to materialize because you say, well, if I was this kind of person, I would be walking like this. So you start to walk like it. I told you that story about the person I read who decided to put on a power suit. She just put on a power suit and took her little briefcase out and she walked in to the Walmart. She just walked in. And people started talking to her with a different tone. People started talking to her with a different tone. They treated her differently because she walked in there in the way that she had rehearsed in her mind. She said, look, you see, this is a power suit. Listen to what she said. It's a power suit. So she put it on. She, like an Avenger, she suited up. Hello. So she put her suit on. And when you put your suit on, what did Tony Stark say to Hulk? You got strut. She walked in there with a confidence that she had rehearsed. And that's why people came up to her and started talking to her because they thought she was someone. But did you know you can take the suit off and do the exact same thing? Well, who was inside the suit? But she was inside the suit. She was wearing the power suit. So she's the one with the power, not the suit. She put on the suit. She had to put on. She had to embody. She used the suit as Miss McQueen. That word I think is talisman, to represent something, or a sigil, I guess. She used the suit to represent what she thought confidence was. She said, man, when she left, whew, she could not believe it. She couldn't believe how people treated her. Only because she walked into that place with a measure of confidence and self-assurance. So you see, today, my beautiful friends, that's why it is a party. It's a P-A-R-T. Why? Because I gotta. From The Mask. Hello? So today, what are you going to put on? What attitude will you put on? Put it on. And you see, the moment you put it on, or as you are putting it on, do you realize how excited you start to get? And these are the moments I wish that we could see the ripples we cause, right? If we could see, and it's a funny thing actually, because we do see. We see because we project it outward. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? Because put on the role. Put it on. It's like a pair of shoes. It's like a jacket. It's like a pair of pants. So if you say, I want that security, what would it feel like to be secure? Meaning, what would it feel like if I knew I didn't have to fret and worry about bills, but I just have it, all my bills on auto renew? That's what I'm saying to you. Think about it and then test it. Try it on for size. Isn't that a saying we say all the time? Try it on for size. Try on your new attitude to see if it fits. So if you want to be in a relationship, what would your behavior like? What would your behavior be like if you were in that relationship? What would your attitude be like? Then that is what you rehearse. Because when you rehearse that, you have to act it out. Why would you have to act it out? Because that is the outcome of rehearsal. I'm curious to see what you'll do. I'm excited to know what I'm going to do. I'm excited about that. So that's why I say it's a party. Get excited about the fact that OMG, I don't have to stay the same way that I've been all these years. I can be different. Does that not make you excited? Think about that for a moment. Does it not make you excited to know that, wait, all I got to do is what I've been doing this whole time? And here's the thing, you're not pretending. You are rehearsing. If your perspective is, I'm just pretending, it's not going to happen anyway. What's the point? If you change from that perspective to the other one that says, if I rehearse, I got to act it out. Let me choose wisely what I will rehearse. I want to rehearse something fun. I want to rehearse something fun. Now, what would I be? What would I be like if I were in a great relationship? What? What? What would I be like? What would I be like? Well, if I were in a relationship, I would totally be like girly, girly, or I'm speaking from a girl's perspective because I'm a girl. I would totally blush all the time I saw whoever that person was. I would hold their hand and give a gentle squeeze, and I would tell them how much I appreciate them. I'd tell them how much I love them just to see their face light up. That's what I would do. And that, then you recognize what you would do. Well, that would mean you're kind, you're compassionate, you're thoughtful, you're caring. Yes. So you see, then you become that. And what is the inevitable outcome of rehearsal? Acting it out. Oh, you got the gears turning in your heads now. The same principle applies to every single situation. You could have 99 problems. I know if you know that song, you just finished it. You could have 99 problems, but the moment you embody the solution, just the moment you do that, you change your whole life. Oh my word. Angela, you make it seem so easy. What if I don't get it right? Wait, what now? What do you mean if you don't get it right? That's why you rehearse. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, what are you and I going to do this weekend? We're going to rehearse. And what are you going to rehearse? What you say you want to become. You got to try it on. That's why it's a party. Like every time, every single time that my boy gets excited about cooking, like he really gets excited. He says, Ma, here's what I feel like cooking today. What I feel like eating today. Oh, yes. You just gotta pay attention. And you become your ideal self. And remember, it's not your ideal self based upon anyone else's opinion. They don't know your lived experience. So how can they possibly judge it? I just want for you to not just see your potential. I want you to walk and embody everything that potential lays out before you. So remember, it doesn't matter what the situation is. It doesn't matter. Oh, yes. Try it out. Step one, you can see where you are and you don't like it. Or you see where you are and you like it and you want more, 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 right? You acknowledge it. And then you get into your mind's eye and you ask the question, what would it be like? What would I be doing? So let me rehearse in imagination what I would be doing in reality. And you tweak it and you tweak it and you shape it and you mold it until the image reflected is the one you say, oh my gosh, what a coincidence. So again, you begin to rehearse in imagination what you would be doing in reality. Now, it makes you feel a particular way when you do it. And you see that feeling? Great. That's the fuel. But it is the knowing that guides. Mm-hmm. Is your curiosity piqued now? Oh, yes. See that moment right there? That moment was for you to just simply bask in it because that is step three. Step three is to bask in the knowing that the outcome of rehearsal is performance. And that means you don't walk around all day trying to be positive, trying to be happy all the time. You can't. But you can walk around with the knowing that the outcome of rehearsal is performance. So I am going to rehearse, and what I rehearse, I will perform. Don't ask when, because then you're not focused on rehearsal. Just rehearse because you're excited you're going to play it out. That's why you rehearse, because you are excited to play it out. And then habitually, because you do what? You do step 1, 2, and 3 the same way every time. You look at where you presently are and then you decide where you want to be. And then you begin to experience in imagination or rehearse in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to be. And then step 3, you rest in the knowing that the outcome of rehearsal is performance. You can't fake that kind of joy. And that's it. So as we go through this weekend, test it out for yourself. How many times a day are you going to rehearse? Well, obviously, the more you rehearse, the sooner you commit things to memory so that you can get it right. So that's what you do. That's it. That's it. So now go forth into this day, into this weekend, and test. Find something beautiful you want to rehearse. And watch that you're going to act it out. And with that, don't let me hold y'all up. Oh, heavens, no. Because we got to get ready for this party. It does not matter what your situation is. Put that together, guys. As soon as I said put that together, I was triggered and I flashed right back to the puzzle that my grandfather had given me for my birthday. 1,500 pieces, mostly orange because it was a fall forest. And every day I would rush home. Every day I would rush home to get at that puzzle. I was so excited. You see how the excitement just naturally follows? Because you know you're going to do something. You get a glimpse of what you're going to do. I trust that today it makes sense for you. Oh, Big Mike, you're awesome. He says he loves my Marvel heroes references. Because I love movies. I love a great movie. And this is why sometimes people say to me, you're weird. How can you? Because I go all the way to the end. However the story ends will determine if I want to participate in it or not. Oh, yeah. If it's got a beautiful ending, I can handle things in between. But if it doesn't end well, I am not giving that. No, thank you, because it's either going to make me upset, it's going to make me cry. No, I'm not. Some say I miss out on things, but I don't like horrors. So I don't watch them. Right? That's why when you choose, you go to the end. Because when you go to the end, the way it unfolds is going to match the end. And sometimes what happens with rhythm? Rhythm compensates. There's an ebb and there's a flow. But if you are consistent, remember that rhythm compensates. So if you are ebbing and you're ebbing real hard, meaning you're just really dramatic, the flow has to be dramatic as well. But if you try and keep the pendulum from swinging too fiercely, because however hard it swings to the right is how hard it has to come back to the left. but you can't stop it from swinging. It is always going to swing. So you get to decide, what speed am I going to get this to swing at? Well, that depends on your level of enthusiasm. Right? That's why you test it. That's why you get out there and you do it for yourself. Don't just wait till you want something. This is your life and you have to live it. And see, that's the thing. People, I just told you that rhythm compensates. And some people live from one experience to the next. And it's usually drama filled because you're like, oh, I'm trying to manifest this thing. Oh, I'm trying to get this thing in my life. Hey, live your life and rehearse what you want to perform. And then it is inevitable that it is going to unfold for you. And it unfolds in a beautiful way instead of swinging you left and right so hard because you're desperate. You don't need to be desperate. Why not? Is that the role you want to play in the world? That you're going to rehearse desperation? Okay, well, go ahead. Go ahead then. Play that out if you want to. So if you're not desperate, what are you? Oh, now you're thinking. So rehearse. And I know some of you may think that that's weird, but look at it. When they learn how to, my boss was funny. I was standing next to him as he was typing. And I said, oh, it reminds me of my chickens when they peck. He goes, well, I learned to type in grade 9. He goes, that was a minute ago, wasn't it? Listen, you rehearse. Just rehearse. Rehearse what it would be like, what it would feel like to you if you reconciled with someone. Rehearse what it would be like for you if you were like totally phenomenal at your job or as an entrepreneur. Rehearse what you'd be doing. And Neville Goddard says you narrow it down to one little scene. And when he wanted to leave Barbados to come back home, because he didn't have a return ticket. He didn't have a return ticket. And he needed to get back so that he could do speaking engagements. So when he was trying to leave Barbados, they said to him, well, we don't have anything till next month. He said, well, I can't wait till next month. So he said, he sat on the chair and he saw himself walk up the gangplank of the boat. Because in those days, if you're from the Caribbean, you know that you traveled by boat. Right? And so he said he walked up the gangplank in his imagination. He sat down, he closed his eyes, and he walked up the gangplank. And when he fell off, because he would, in his imagination, he says, he'd get up and he did it again. And I think he said he did it for like a half an hour. His phone rings. And Mr. Goddard, we have a cancellation. You can leave tomorrow. We have a cancellation. He didn't fuss. He went to the one place he knew would work. That's all he did. He walked up the gangplank because it signified to him that he was leaving and that he would be home on time. That was the desired effect you wanted. And here's the cause. Somebody canceled because for some reason they didn't tell you why she canceled. They just said that she called and she canceled. Last minute. So that's why I'm telling you. Go to the end. Just go to the end. And I dreamt about a little bit last night that he was starting to walk instead of having to hop. Oh, I did. I dreamt about that. I don't know how it is going to happen. I just know I dreamt it. So now I have to rehearse. I have to rehearse what it would be like, what I would be like when I come through the door and he walks or he runs to me. Well, I always wanted a lady for him, and now I have one. That's my point. I didn't know how long it was going to take. I just let it be. So go out into this world this weekend and be deliberate because you know the inevitable outcome of rehearsal is performance. And why do we perform? Because it's a party. Soul of a man. Good morning, Liza. Jeff is here too. Yeah, soul of a man. They can change their entire lives. Oh, how exciting. I see y'all in these YouTube streets. I do, I see you. And Miss Tiffany was here on Twitter and who's here right now on Fanbase. Ah, Burnt, I see you. Burnt Skillet, I see you. I see you, Super Real. My sweet KZ. Ray Ray. L. Moon and Dolphin Duck. Big Mike. And my sweet Miss McQueen. I see you all. I see you all. So up the ante on our lives. Yes. Go out and test it. What are you testing? You're testing how many times a day you can rehearse your role. That's what you're doing. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's get it. Indeed. And I will see you here again Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, but Angela, I've got so much fear. What would it be like if I had courage? How would I behave if I were courageous? See? Man, y'all got me fired up. You got me fired up in here today. Let us go forth and do it. All right? Let us go forth and do it. Avengers, assemble. Okay, that was for you. That was for you, Big Mike. That was for you. Oh, snap. It really was. Anyhow, y'all, let's get it done. I'm going to be on time. Listen, I'm always on time for work, but I'm going to be on time today because I got a lot to do. I got a lot to do at work today. But you know that you're always in my heart. You'll be in my heart. Yeah. Phil Collins. Mm, yeah. All right, y'all. Peace out. Peace out. I'm going to close all the rooms. Peace out, everybody.